The CEO and creator of ARK Investment Management, Cathie Woods, has opened the floodgates on XRP and moved deeper into Europe, according to today's news. This is enormous. For those who don't know, Cathie Woods is seen as the Warren Buffett of the next generation because, while Buffett dislikes cryptocurrency, Woods is a huge cryptocurrency bull. According to this Cointelegraph article, 21 Shares is increasing its footprint in Europe by launching 3 new cryptocurrency ETPs on the NASDAQ stock exchange. In addition to XRP exposure, they will be providing Bitcoin and Solana with staking yield. In order to introduce a new line of exchange-traded funds, ETFs, for digital assets, Cathie Woods' company, ARK Invest, teamed up with 21 Shares. And after making a personal investment in the business, Cathie Wood joined the board of directors at A&M, the parent company of 21 Shares. As a result, Cathie Woods has significant executive influence over 21 Shares' operations and decisions. It remains exactly here, as we can see on the 21 Shares website, AXRP, which is 21 Shares XRP ETs that are 100% physically backed by Xrp and have $559 million in assets under management. Just 3 or 4 days ago, on March 25, the net asset value of XRP and thus of XRP was $66.32. Thus, 21 Shares essentially indicate that XRP is worth $66.32, which is extremely significant news. And although this pricing target may appear unrealistic, it is completely feasible since, as CTO David Schwartz disclosed in this interview, Ripple is collaborating with, not competing with, $8 trillion sector. Pay close attention. Institutional adoption is a forerunner to retail adoption, which many in the industry previously believed to be the big wave. You must connect with them where they are. Where the value is, you must go. It is impossible to start from scratch and create a new financial system while disregarding the current one, which contains trillions of dollars in value and is where everyone's money is kept. You can't simply tell them to forget about it. Here, let's just construct something fresh. That isn't effective. Therefore, I believe that the institutional adoption wave that is expected to occur over the next year or two will be the catalyst for widespread retail adoption. We can then fulfill such commitments. We all want to bank the unbanked, but they need to be able to spend their money on things like groceries and phone bills. Therefore, that institutional link is essential. Furthermore, I don't believe there are any barriers. As far as I'm concerned, this conference demonstrates that that's it. Very evident evidence. This is enormous. The objective and cooperating market for XRP is sizable enough to support XRP's ascent to $66.32. Additionally, Cathie West's entry into the European market has contributed to XRP's increased integration within the EU, which may pave the way for a quicker price surge and wider adoption. Because, despite appearances, the EU is already very optimistic about XRP. As Mr. Man XRP is demonstrating here, the EU and ESMA are creating standards to support distributed ledger technology, or DLT. This post emphasizes that ESMA must provide precise rules for the operation of distributed ledger technology DLT trading platforms throughout Europe by today, March 24, 2025. These regulations must guarantee fair market practices, financial stability, and investor protection. DLT platforms need to submit a special clearance request demonstrating that they adhere to the rules and don't circumvent them. Applications are evaluated by authorities within 90 days, and once granted, approval is good for a maximum of 6 years. All of Europe must apply, and any exemptions or exceptional restrictions must be explicitly stated. This is significant as well and may have something to do with Ripple XRP and the XRP ledger in light of the ongoing dispute. Due to the protracted 4-year lawsuit and their lonesome battle against the SEC, XRP and Ripple have been granted effective legal and regulatory clarity. The SEC's appeal has now been officially dismissed, which is characteristically British. Possess in YDFS, which has granted XRP and Ripple a bit stamp license, thereby providing them with regulatory certainty or confidence in the industry as a whole. Therefore, XRP can be considered a DLT platform that will function throughout Europe, be trusted, and provide improved security, stable finances, and equitable market practices. To demonstrate once more how optimistic Europe is about XRP, however, that is not all. Why? On XRP, Europe is unleashing the floodgates. Ripple is extensively featured on the Digital Euro Association website as one of its speaker affiliations. As we can see from this list, Ripple is ranked first, surpassing Ernst & Young, KPMG, and Deloitte, three of the four major accounting firms. PwC is the only one left off. The International Monetary Fund is another example. You have Circle 2, aka JP Morgan's platform, Onyx, Goldman Sachs, and numerous other large organizations are listed first, followed by Ripple. This is a huge deal, and even more intriguing is the fact that Ripple is ranked first among the sponsors and speakers among the 34+ partners. And it's no accident. As previously said in this post, policies and frameworks come before price and are what we are currently waiting for. Explosion. Before we see a major increase in usage and a sharp rise in the price of cryptocurrencies, especially XRP, we are waiting for legislation to be passed. You can follow me at xrp.com/coin-factory for more details on what I'm doing personally in this bull run. I'll keep you all updated on my moves and targets, as well as how I'm actively trading this market and establishing reasonable market expectations through institutional research documents. It's been really excellent so far, and we've seen many people make very profitable trades, so there's still a lot more to come. Therefore, if you're interested, you may find the link to xrp.com/coin-factory in the description below. How long will it take for the floodgates to open fully, or more specifically, how long until the digital euro appears on the XRP ledger? There is conjecture that the digital euro will appear on the XRP ledger upon its release, which would account for Ripple's current top spot on the Digital Euro Association speaker and sponsor sections. Now, pay special attention to this interview with Christine Lagarde, the president of the European Central Bank, as she discusses the upcoming launch or release of the wholesale and retail digital euro. This year, the decision date is almost approaching, and we began working on the digital euro 5.5 years ago when I actually began my term. Furthermore, my colleague Benoit Coeuré had already given a speech on the subject before I came, so I'm not asserting parentality on the digital euro. However, I definitely continued with that project, and Fabio Panetta and Pierluigi Polone, who succeeded Fabio on the board, have taken the lead with an extremely talented team that is focused on speeding up the process and hopefully advocating sufficiently with all the stakeholders, that is, the European Parliament, the European Council, and the European Commission, so that we can finally not put this digital euro to rest, but bring it to reality. Our deadline is October 2025, and we are preparing for it. However, we cannot proceed until the other parties, the stakeholders, as I refer to them, the Commission, Council, and Parliament, finish the legislative process. And I believe it is really vital, and it appears to skeptics and agnostics that it is more necessary and relevant now than it has ever been. The wholesale level as well as the retail level. The benefit that XRP and Ripple have over the other assets in this area is that, once again, all we need are laws. I'll recap the procedures of the case between Ripple Index